Hello everyone and welcome again to another episode of Minimalist Gourmet, where today I'll be showing you how to make a classic lasagna. That's right, this classic dish should be in every cook's repertoire. It's delicious, filling, and easy to make. So let's get started. I have 1 pound of ground beef here that I'm cooking over medium-high heat. You can use any type of ground meat you'd like: beef, pork, chicken, turkey, or heck, a combination of those will work great. In fact, my favorite type of filling is half beef and half pork. This recipe lends itself well to customization, so use the meat that you like and make sure that it suits your tastes. Whatever meat you decide to cook, you're going to break this up, cooking it over medium-high heat until it's nice and brown. Now, if you're using a very lean cut of meat like turkey or chicken, you might need to add a little bit of butter or olive oil to this so that you have enough oil or fat in the pan to fry up your onions and garlic. Now, we've created a well here. We've pushed our meat to the side so we can put our onions right in the center and cook it here in our beef fat. Season this up well with some salt and ground black pepper, as well as a blend of Italian herbs and spices. I think my blend had some rosemary, thyme, basil, and parsley in it, but use what you have on hand. Continue cooking your onions over this medium-high heat for about 4 minutes until they become slightly soft and translucent. At that point, we're going to go ahead and add our garlic in. Now you want to add this in and cook it for about 1, maybe 2 minutes max. Once you can smell your garlic, you know it's time to stop cooking it. My ground beef was kind of fatty and has way too much grease in it to add to the dish, so I'm going to toss a paper towel in here and absorb a little bit of that extra grease so I don't have an oil slick on top of my lasagna when I'm done cooking it. Of course, we want to be tasting as we go and adjust for seasoning as necessary. I think this needs a little bit more salt, so I'm going to go ahead and put some in. Other than that, tastes pretty darn good to me. I have this pasta sauce left over that I made up the other night for another dish, and I'm going to go ahead and use it in here. It's about 2.5 cups. Now, of course, homemade would be best, but if not, hey, feel free to use some canned. I'm not going to tell anybody, and your dish will still turn out absolutely delicious. Or wait until the end card and check out my how-to recipe on roasted red pepper and pork ragu. It is absolutely delicious and will work great in this recipe. Add your sauce and allow it to heat through completely. Now my sauce was homemade, so it had already simmered for quite some time. If you'd like though, you can absolutely let this simmer for a good 15 or 20 minutes. It's again up to you. This recipe is very flexible. Now on to assembly. I'll be using 4 layers of noodles in my recipe, and I want to start and end with a layer of my sauce and meat mixture. That means I broke up my sauce mixture into 5 portions. As I said, we're going to lay down 1/5 of our pasta sauce onto the bottom. This will create a wonderful base and prevent our pasta noodles from sticking to the bottom of the pan. So just portion it out here and make sure to spread it out evenly across the entire bottom, edge to edge. When it comes to noodles, I like parboiling mine. So I've cooked these for about 4 minutes in boiling water until they're nice and pliable but still durable enough for me to handle them. They're going to finish cooking completely in the oven and absorb some of that delicious flavor from our sauce. I find this works a little bit better than the no-boil method, and I think they hold together better than cooking them completely in the pot. Put down a layer of noodles right on top of our meat and sauce mixture. Then we're going to evenly spoon out 1/4 of a container of ricotta cheese right on top and make sure to spread that evenly across the entire surface, edge to edge. I need 1 layer of ricotta cheese for every layer of noodles I'm using. Since I'm using 4 layers of noodles, I need to break my ricotta container up into 4 portions. Now we're going to sprinkle on some grated cheese. I've got a mixture of cheddar and mozzarella here. Of course, mozzarella and Parmesan are very traditional. I just really love that nice sharp cheddar flavor. We're going to begin building up our second layer with another layer of our sauce and meat mixture, noodles, ricotta. We're going to keep repeating this process until all 4 layers are done. And as I said, we're going to start and end with the layer of our sauce and meat mixture. So this is our last layer here. We're going to end with sauce. This will help prevent it from drying out when we put it in the oven. The final thing we're going to do is top this again with a very generous dose of grated cheese. This will allow it to brown in the oven and be absolutely delicious. We don't want our cheese to brown too aggressively in the oven. So to start off, we're going to actually cook this covered with a thick layer of aluminum foil, and we're going to pull it off later. Wrap a layer of aluminum foil completely around the top and make sure it's well sealed. This is going to go into the center of a preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes and we need to remove the lasagna so we can remove the aluminum foil. We're going to continue to cook it for about 10 or 15 minutes here uncovered so that the cheese can crisp up and brown nicely. Remove the aluminum foil, place it back in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 or 15 minutes or until the cheese has reached a level of crispiness and brown that you like. And after about another 15 minutes of cooking, this looks great to me. We're going to put it on the counter and you want to let it rest for a solid 15 minutes so that it can cool down slightly before we start cutting. I like to use a knife and run it around the edge just to make sure that nothing sticks to the side and that all the pieces come out nice and clean from the pan. Now, because we've waited 15 minutes for this to cool down, we're going to be able to slice this, and the likelihood of our lasagna staying together in nice whole pieces is a lot higher. I've sliced this into 6 portions, and I want you guys to take note, even though as I'm pulling this out and it's been sitting for well over 15 or 20 minutes, you can still see the steam coming off of the pieces as I pull them out of the pan. So don't worry, letting it rest will not make you have cold food. Nobody wants cold lasagna. And hey guys, it really is just that simple to make this delicious and extremely versatile dish in your home kitchen tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you watching so much. I do appreciate your time today, and I hope to see you all here again real soon on another episode of Minimalist Gourmet.